Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Joseph Pith and this is the Pith Take. We've probably all had at least a few of those awkward intergenerational encounters where you might reach for a handshake and your man comes back for a fist bump. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. It's not quite Jeremy Corbyn high-fiving a boob awkward, but a bit awkward. So, as a guy, you sort of, in the first year or two down the road of adulthood, you become accustomed to gauging the appropriate greeting in any particular scenario and with certain people. I remember when I was first introduced to my now father-in-law, who sits very firmly in the middle of the boomer generation, I hadn't really had much call for use of a handshake at aged 19, going on 15. So my girlfriend, now wife, introduces me. This is my dad. He reaches out for the handshake. I look at his hand, realise what's going on, reach out to shake his hand, and then what followed was this sort of brief instruction in handshake etiquette. So we're talking like a sort of reciprocally firm handshake, maintaining eye contact, better without stupid glasses, friendly smile, maybe a bit of a nod. The whole encounter is, if anything, is sort of just is more reassuring than anything else. Certainly not threatening. A life lesson was learned for sure. But I digress a little. The point of this video was just to recount an interaction and consequent observation I made one evening earlier this week. I've probably not mentioned before, I don't think I have, that amongst a few leisure pursuits that I have, one of them is skateboarding. My local skate park likely has a very similar demographic mix as others the length and breadth of the UK. You'll find older guys like 40 plus, little kids under 10 zipping around on scooters, and then everyone else in between. On certain evenings, especially now, it's not so brass monkeys freezing. There's a big cohort of Gen Zers at the park that I go to. When you spend enough time around people, you know, you get to know them a bit, you have a shared interest, it breaks boundaries. So one evening earlier this week, I wander into the park, spot a guy I've seen there quite a few times before. He's probably 18, 19. I say hello, he walks over, reaches out his arm. I naturally think he's going for a fist bump. I look down, he's gone for the handshake. And it wasn't awkward really. He quickly adapts. Fist bump it is. And I figure he's being respectful, seeing as I'm old enough to be his dad. He's gone for what he sees as the appropriate choice of greeting in the handshake. Then throughout the evening I see like swathes of his friends coming and going. At one point there's probably like 20 of them. Some of them are skating, some just hanging around chatting, some smoking questionable tobacco. Occasionally they have a chat to us more sort of mature skaters. a first observation that doesn't really surprise me, but may surprise some people. There's decent guys and there's morons in every generation. Gen Z is no exception. And all the guys I chat to are genuinely open and friendly. But my main observation, as this guy's friends come and go throughout the evening, they greet each other without fail with a handshake, which really did surprise me. Whereas I thought this guy was accounting for, the gap in our generations. What he was doing, in fact, seemed to be simply extending to me the same greeting he would to his friends, and his friends seemed to be to theirs. And then I'm thinking, is that a thing now? Gen Z do handshakes, do they? Because these ones definitely do. And then, as I'm stood there sort of inhaling this slightly pungent, skunky air, my mind goes on a bit of a wander, and I'm recalling reading an article maybe a week or so earlier about Gen Z increasingly rejecting woke ideology and leaning more into traditional values and roles. And I wonder, is that what this is? I know it's a lot to read into a handshake, but it is fascinating to see that these guys at least have adopted this greeting that's more associated with boomers and Gen X, I guess, but certainly not their generation. And I roll around the park a bit, enjoying the now balmy 11 degrees Celsius temperatures. I just feel slightly, strangely reassured and encouraged by what seems to be a Gen Z handshake renaissance. Weird. See you in the next one.